Hello, everybody. I'm Xiao Liang from University of Technology, Sydney. On behalf of Dr. Li Bo from Miami University, I'm very happy to present this research in Applied Sports Management Association Conference 2021 here. If you have any questions and comments, please do not hesitate to give us your feedback in the discussion time later on. For today, the research topic is fake news travels fast, exploring misinformation circulated around Wulei coronavirus case. This research analyzed how misinformation related to a coronavirus case of a star soccer player Wulei was spread widely on Chinese digital media and accepted by sports fans as the truth. It examined the mechanism by exploring how misinformation emerged and was disseminated, and also exploring how social media and fast-growing self-media in China exacerbate tendencies toward misinformation during the news production process, which poses a new threat to legacy media and the journalist profession. This research concludes by discussing new challenges faced by the Chinese sports journalists in the new digital era after COVID-19. Spread of misinformation or fake news has typically had its focus in politics, in particular, how politicians use false information to obtain support from voters while spinning stories or claiming that other stories are fake has been explored. So much of the discourse around fake news has centered on the politics. Many other areas have experienced fake news, such as crisis communications and the coronavirus. During the coronavirus crisis, both the virus and the misinformation spread widely in China. Spread of misinformation during the coronavirus pandemic is no exemption in sports reporting. Chinese soccer player Wu Lei's coronavirus case is one of examples that illustrates how professional athletes who are followed and modeled by millions of people, the subject of misinformation shared on all media outlets. On March 20, 2020, Spanish La Liga team RCD Espanyol confirmed 6 members of this team, 1 coach and 5 players has tested positive for COVID-19, including Chinese striker Wu Lei. The news suddenly became one of the breaking topics on Xinlang Weibo, and there were more than 365,000 comments on the story on this service. Another day, on 24th of March, Red Star News, a Chinese digital news application, reported that Wu Lei had recovered from COVID-19, and the result of retest was negative. The journalist mentioned that the source of the news came from experienced Spanish sports journalist Thomas Guach. However, the news was denied quickly by Wu Lei's team on social media. 2 days later, Wu Lei spoke to CCTV, the China's national broadcaster, and commented that he had not recovered and has not been retested because of lack of test kits in Spain. We can see the Fig 1 for timeline of Wu Lei's coronavirus reporting. This news created confusion regarding whether Wu Lei had fully recovered from the coronavirus. Misinformation refers to information that is false, but it's believed to be true by individuals disseminating the news. Disinformation refers to intentional dissemination of information known to be false. More information is the intentional use of true information to cause harm on a person, organization, or country. Scholars have criticized social media because it provides spaces for creating misinformation easily, and the stories can be hard to refute in timely manner. It's evident the falsehood travels faster, deeper, and more broadly than truth on social media. Correcting misinformation on social media can also be very expensive and challenging since it's hard to ensure the correct information reaches every user viewed or believed the false information. Self-media refers to user-generated content has been posted on media platforms by individual users. As of 2019, the total number of self-media accounts exceeded 31 million, and nearly 3 million people worked in this industry. Unlike the media production process for traditional media, the news must be fact-checked by journalists, editors, and chief editors before being published. Individual news producers skip the rigorous editorial process before publishing content, which can result in the wide distribution of misinformation. Embracing digital platforms, creating their own news applications, and the social-first publishing are common strategies employed by media outlets to combat threats that digital media outlets pose to the traditional media. Journalists are often asked to produce content for multi-platforms simultaneously, which shortens their time to produce high-quality news products. Misinformation has become common in media reporting due to the lack of adequate scrutiny. Speaking to credible media or using a trustworthy source to report news is an effective method to combat misinformation. Through providing more detailed information about his current status to a credible media source, Wu Lei and his team were able to successfully minimize the widespread misinformation. With the increased number of misinformation stories being shared, professional journalists can take advantage of the expertise, ethics, and experience to correct these falsehoods and disseminate correct information to the general public. Okay, so much for my today's presentation on this research. If you have any questions and comments, let's discuss right now. Thanks.